All right, good. Let's do intros. Perfect. We'll start with you, Chad.
Yes.
Only chat,
Starting
everybody-
strong, yes.
everybody knows chat now.
I'm Chad
Mhm.
from Korea. My name is Chung-il Chad, but I prefer to call it Chad. And it's my second semester. I started my program last year in workforce education. That's all.
Welcome.
All right, thank you.
Allah yarkallah. We were in the Fusion of Innovation. I remember you.
Oh,
Yeah, last
in the
semester.
same class.
Yes. But it is online,
So
so
online only,
you don't
so-
know my face.
Yeah.
Allah yarkallah. This is second.
Hello?
Yeah, al-kalaf. Yeah.
Al-Kalaf.
This is second year, third semester.
Okay.
Workforce ed.
All right.
Hello, my name is Jung.
Who are you?
I am slave of Dr. Lasser.
We all are.
He pestered me. Why don't you start online development, cross development project? So this is why I.
In all your free time.
Yes, we are in here. So thank you for coming and.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Rashid and Chad, I guess we met last year, and this is my third year in the program, HR.
Hi, everybody. Marie Saul, first year Workforce Education and Development. HRDOD emphasis.
You were with Chad last year.
Yes.
What's your name again?
Marie.
Mori.
We can congratulate them. They just got their candidacy.
Yeah.
Ah.
We know what that process felt like.
Thank you.
I'm Steve. I'm a third year doc student, but I'm fifth year in the program, so I got my master's here. I'm currently a professor at Penn College of Technology and Juniata in Huntington. I'm done my coursework. I'm just helping
Yes.
Dr. Rothwell on a couple of things.
Thank you so much.
I'm Lean. I am the previous slave of Dr. Rothwell.
We're all.
And then I got don't need to replace, thank God.
Another boss.
So this is my fourth year, and looks like I'll be here for 5 years.
5 more years?
No, God, no. I'll be one more year. One more year. That's about it about me. So let's start about here. First of all, I want to say thank you for all of you guys to come here. It's kind of exciting to see more people come on board on some of these projects because 3 years ago, when Steve and I were here, one of our visions was really to get more collaboration with students and get more projects going on. When I first came on, pretty much most people did this in isolation. You met each other in class, you did your thing, you saw each other, and see you later. Once in a while, people would collaborate and write together. But for the most part, it was a lonely journey.
A solitary journey.
Yeah. And it's been kind of nice because it had shifted quite a bit over the past several years. And that's really was one of our main goals for me because I know I didn't want to do this by myself. But before we keep going, Meg, we're just doing introductions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no
I
problem.
apologize. I had an email from my dean that I had to handle right then. So apparently there's protesters on campus today, and we're having a career fair in our building. So
Oh, no.
apologize for
God.
making you guys wait. Yeah. but-
We're protesting careers. We don't like careers.
Yeah, no, they're protesting Bank of America. I don't know something. I'm not real sure, but anyway. So my name's Meg Hanley. I work at the College of Business. I run the career office there. So I'm first year in the program, so this is my second semester, and obviously on the HRD track. So is that it? Is that all we were doing? Okay, perfect.
You're good.
And congratulations on candidacy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So it's nice. So we have a mix of groups here. Now I was just talking about how one of our goals, and it's kind of exciting to see so many people here. When Steve and I first started, it was a very isolated, kind of lonely journey through the PhD. And one of the things we really try to do is to get more students involved in any of the projects we can. So we always try to get more people on board, and we hope that continues to be part of the culture in our department. Whether we're writing anything and trying to get people to just write a case study or write a worksheet that you can get publications, the goal is to really support and help each other as we move forward.
So once we're gone, you first years and second years need to keep this going and keep collaborating and bringing more people in.
Yeah, because you really produce so much more. I think collectively as a program, I think we probably published almost 3 times as much as a
agree.
program than they've done in the past.
And presented
And from presentations to publications to doing
book
projects.
chapters, and, yeah.
So right now, and we're still, I mean, I know there's a lot of cracks in trying to figure and structure everything out, and we haven't figured it all out yet, so that's our goal right now, and we're looking on to you guys as support in doing that. So any suggestions you have of improving this process or any projects. And that's one of the things that's exciting, at least for me, especially working with Dr. Rothwell. You could bring him a project and he'll be like, all right, let's go. And you know, a lot of times, I mean, in the past, I've worked with professors who are very, very controlling about what actually gets shared. And he's really about sharing whatever and everything he can. So take advantage of that. If anything, I could give you suggestions on that. So for today, this is one of the main things for, before we move forward, quick question. How many of you guys have taken the Intro to OD?
572.
572. Okay.
3 times.
Yes.
And Maria has it.
I haven't, but I've
Okay.
taken an
Oh,
intro
yeah.
OD class at another program, so
Okay.
I'm familiar with the basics, right? So,
Perfect.
but,
Um,
yeah.
Okay.
What about process consultation? Who's taken that? So 2, 3. And you guys took it this past semester. You took it
Yeah,
this past semester.
yeah.
Okay, great. So those are the 2 courses that we're focusing on. And so there's a couple of things that's going on. I want to just give you a quick overview. There's 3 key pieces. One is the MPS OD. The MPS OD is in process of being approved right now. It actually went through approval. Right now they have to go through the rest of the red tape, and it kind of gets, as Dr. Roth always says, it's like molasses on an iceberg. It goes very, very slowly. So in the meantime, what we're looking at doing is trying to develop that course. One of the things that we don't want to do is just give it to an ISD instructor over at World Campus, where a lot of times, one, my experience that they're not doing a very good job, whether they're overwhelmed, and 2, we as students and people who've taken this course know what's the best way of delivering this since we're in it. And so right now that's our main goal, is to look at that, because eventually all the courses that you've taken here in Workforce Ed will be online, and there'll be 2 tracks going on at the same time. There'll be a master's, which will be online, and so there's a 572, which will be a master's. There's also going to be a 572, which will be a PhD, and that'll be going simultaneously. Maybe not the same semester, but it'll be going simultaneously. So those are some things in regards to just thinking of what's happening.
Same with process consultation.
And process consultation. So all the courses actually is going to happen that way. The other piece of it is called the Rothwell Learning Center. So for those of you who took the 572 or other courses with Dr. Rothwell, we've been using this Rothwell Learning Center as a place to hold the content, basically. So right now it's our content management system that we're using, and we're developing that piece. So in this project, there's going to be 2 pieces that you get to select from. There's going to be the more of the platform technology component, and we're going to say Chad's going to lead that, because you guys probably know him, he's our technology guru, and him and Ipong. And then the other half of it is the content. That's the one we need a lot of help with. Jungyu, anything else you want to add for either one of those? MPSOD and Rothwell Learning Center.
Perfect.
Oh, come on, I know you have a lot more to say on that.
Yes.
So Jungyu has developed a lot. He did the last Rothwell Learning Center, and he's done a fantastic job. It looks
No.
great.
Yeah.
Take credit, will you please?
1 year ago, last year learning center is better than
No.
nowadays.
It's all about evolving, and it's not about better, it's just evolving. Okay, so then the third piece that we wanted to do this in regards to this project. How many of you are familiar with action learning? Great. So one of the things we wanted to do is not just do work for the sake of work. We also want to get a learning out of this. And we wanted to design this around action learning. In the sense of, 1, you get to learn another OD intervention, which is called action learning, and 2, that you also get to develop it. So we're looking to develop several competencies. One of the main competencies is the actual competency in the course that you're developing, whether it's the 572 course or the process consultation. The next competency is going to be how to develop an online course. For most of you who may be professors, that's going to be critical to know, particularly in the future. And the third piece, which is more personal for you, is that action learning leadership piece. So for those who don't know what action learning is, Action learning comes from, it started with Dr. Marcotte, well, he didn't actually start, it was Ravens. And one of the things is it focuses around a specific problem. So the problem that we're focusing on right now is developing an online class. And it's really centered around asking key questions and developing this. At the same time, we're also developing ourselves. Because, like I said, you're not getting paid, you're not working for the sake of work. We want to make sure that all of us are learning in this process. And so that's something to kind of reflect and think a little bit more about. Jung, you talk more about it?
Yes, I wanted to let you know what is your advantage from this project. So I think you can register in your individual study from this project. It means already several students taking an individual study from Dr. Russell through this course development project or other project. For example, writing a book or participating, he's developing another project. So maybe if you participate in this project, you can submit your individual study about this or others for the next semester or maybe this semester is too late, but you submit your individual study about this and next semester or 1 year later. So also I think you can get a chance to be a teaching assistant of the 572 or the other process consultation, other things. It means we need a lot of volunteer TA for this course. So someone who already took 572, you observed how we are busy in our classroom. We need some Adobe Connect helper or someone must check each assignment every week. So if we want to participate if you have interest in the TA role as a volunteer for Dr. Russell, maybe it will be another chance to you. Yes.
The other advantage too, just so you guys know, Dr. Rothwell currently has almost 38 advisees. And this gives you an opportunity, and not to say that he doesn't remember all of you, but it's an easier way to get in regards to doing projects with him. And in that sense, and I'll tell you one of the things he always says, is that when students graduate, he may be their advisee, and then they'll ask for a letter of recommendation. And he'll be like, who's that person? I saw them at their defense.
Yeah.
So this really gives him an opportunity and gives him information about who you are, what you are. And I gotta tell you, a letter of recommendation from Dr. Rothwell is a ticket to whatever you wanna do. It really, really is. That man is very, very well connected. And if you wanna write more books, whether it's a different subject, he'll get you connected with a publisher. He'll get you connected with the people you need if you need an intern. So he's a good person to really get working with.
Yep, I agree.
Steve, don't you have anything else you'd like to add to the benefits of doing this?
With the TAing with Dr. Rothwell's classes, because they're so encompassing, you can have 2 or 3 TAs for a class. I know that we've worked together for the last couple of years on most of his classes, and it's not unusual. So you think, oh, I can't be the TA because someone else is going to be. You can all kind of get in, and getting close to him gets you a lot of the overflow of his knowledge, where you get to learn more and be in his inner circle.
This is not only about some weekend face-to-face meeting. You can participate in this TA role as just a weekly check on the online website.
Yep.
That's because you will participate in this developing course. Maybe it will be better. Maybe if you participate in that TA role as an online course, maybe it will be very nice.
And I guess there's something we could add to our CV too.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
sure, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
The course development, the TAing, and the working on any independent study, you can get 2 or 3 different blurbs on your CV for doing this.
also, Dr. Russell always very flexible to any suggestion from the student. So individual study, or I think if we wanted to have some teaching experience in this school, maybe you can take some part of the 572 or other course through this course development. So it means you can register in what is the teaching experience?
602.
602.
602
yes,
credits.
Maybe he will be okay about
Yeah.
that.
And even look at this as a research opportunity. You could write an article on how to develop online courses, what we're actually doing.
Yeah, there's a
Case
lot of
study.
research opportunities here. So one of the reasons why I also want to do action learning, any of you who are interested in action learning, to explore that a little bit more, we could even use this as an experience and possibly write a paper from it too. So always looking for opportunities to do that. You don't want to approach any project from a singular point of view. You want to look at so many different opportunities from one singular project. So as we're moving forward on that, here's my next question, and this will allow us to we'll get to know each other a little bit more. In the heart of action learning, there's two pieces. One is really to explore with yourself what you want to develop. So if you, in thinking of being part of this project, the question that I would ask all of you is that at the end of this semester, what would you want to get out of it? What is the learning outcome, and what area of development would you like to have from participating in this project? So just take a couple minutes to really think about that, and then we could all share. And then from after we do that, then we'll talk about more specifically about the project itself.
So the first one is the learning outcome. The other is what?
Is what's your learning outcome, and what do you want to develop? So if you want to develop your organizational skills, God, I've been trying to work on that for 4 years, and it's still not working, but I'm going to keep trying. So whatever the learning outcome that you'd like to have, and then and that can change, because I know I'm just asking you that now.
And what is your experience of
What is
course
the
development?
questions? I'm sorry.
So there's actually 3 questions. So number 1 is, what is your learning outcome of participating in this project? What do you want to develop in regards to your leadership or your professional skills?
This is number 2.
Yep. And the third one is, what strength do you bring to the group? What skills?
Experience.
Right. So whether it's your experience, whether it's because you know technology like CAD does, whether you're very organized, because God knows that would be really helpful, or if you've had some course development experience before in the past. So those are just 3 things.
Very briefly, yeah.
Yeah, so just a couple of minutes really quickly, and then we'll
the second
expand
one,
on that.
Lane, please.
I'm sorry?
The second one.
Learning outcome.
Learning go.
you
No,
want
this
to-
is number 1.
One is
Learning,
what do you want to develop?
what do you want to develop?
Myself.
So I'll start on that. For me, what is my learning outcome? My learning outcome for this would be that I would like to be able to know what it means to fully develop a course under the Penn State guidelines. So Penn State and each course will have their own specific guidelines, and you learning and knowing how to do that. So there's a lot of, even not just designing, but there's some bureaucracy that's involved that I've learned a lot about. So those are some of the things that I'd like to learn a little bit more, particularly if I do decide to go more into the academia. I'm not sure if I want to. My objective by the end of this semester is to have 2 teams that are working in succinct, moving forward in this direction with our support and guidance, and to be able to get some feedback from everybody about how we could further develop this. And what is my strength is that I've been here for 4 years and I know the course. Doesn't mean I know the course, but I know of the course. Who wants to go next?
Can
Ali?
I go next?
Yes.
Learning outcome, I will know more about online learning, about systems, how it's really done, how it's really work, these 2. Experience, I'm gonna get, collaboration with you, and also online learning. The third one, it's something I wanna, my strengths, yes. I have background about information systems.
Okay.
So databases and this stuff, so I might help add
Perfect.
something here.
Great. Thank you. Who's next?
Okay, I could go. I thought I'm gonna maybe I want to learn what about the university procedure regulation, how we can move this course to online. So that's something I need to be aware of, and maybe at least compare it with international universities abroad, and also to get the technical skills, maybe being close with Chad, maybe
Okay.
that's something that I can learn, and maybe some of the other stuff is how can I identify the important items or contents that I need to put in the course, online course. other points also maybe to explore best practices since we're gonna move this course to online. I guess maybe there's some guideline or maybe there's a bar that maybe we can compare ourselves with. Maybe we can check our other best practices. And maybe the last point is maybe to carry this course maybe abroad, where UAE, maybe we are like actually we don't trust online courses yet.
Right.
So maybe this is something experience to have it added to my CV and to learn about it and experience. What I can bring to this course, maybe just I took the courses and I've been here 3 years. That's it. Yeah.
You know, the best practice would be a great paper,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Best practice of developing online classes would be a really, really good research to do.
I can go in a circle. I would also like to learn, fully developing an online course. I'm also just very interested in learning from all of you that have, been writing papers and doing research and thinking critically and analytically. So I'm hoping to, if there's a paper that comes out of this, to learn from you all and contribute in some way to that. Obviously to learn more about the OD approach, and really enjoyed that class last semester. So I mentioned, some developmental skills, writing, critical thinking, those kind of things, and obviously the online tools. I think the strengths that I bring, I work here at the university, have been since 2005. So I think I can bring a lot of those questions and can help with getting answers easily and things like that if we need them. So that's a strength. I'm very creative, and I'm also working on an online class for the course that I teach right now. So I can, and I'm in the role that I have at Career Services. I've implemented a lot of technology. I'm nowhere near Chad, but I'm like a risk taker. Like I've tried new things with students and I've gotten feedback on it and tried various things. So I have that information that I can provide based on what we've done with students in the past. So I think those are some of the strengths I bring.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. So for me, as a learning outcome, much like everyone else, definitely want to learn the ins and outs of the course development process for online. And I also want to build my CV. Just want to be very clear and transparent with that. For development, I think for personal development, I think it's important to continue to do group work. It's very easy, and I mentioned this to you all before when we worked on the ILA case. Study competition is very easy to work by yourself, but I don't think it's realistic in terms of the world of work. So
Right.
it's important to understand how to work with other people who have different viewpoints and just press through the difficulties. So I'm wanting to continue to do that for myself. Also to explore opportunities for collaboration, right? So whatever else can come out of this, this is networking as well. For me, and what I think I bring to the table is professionalism. Also my experience in human resources. I'm very good at idea generation and brainstorming and pushing through to task completion. So I am a sort of end goal individual. So
Great, thank you.
Like everyone else, I want to be better at what we do. The strengths I bring, I've been here for a while. We've done this 572 course 3 years in a row. And we've all evolved and changed. And I think just knowing how we're going to change and that we're going to change is a strength that I bring. Knowing that what we've done in the past may have worked, but it will be different and will be better or worse the more we do, we'll evolve. And that's what change is. I want to be better. I want to be a better teacher, a better professor. And I see online learning coming and coming quickly. Not that long ago, here, online learning was a joke. You say, oh, over lunch I'm going to get my online degree. Now online learning is much more serious. And I think it's going to be a matter of months, if not just years, until the world says, oh, online learning is here. I'm pretty good in the classroom teaching, but online it's a skill that's very different. So I really want to try and hone that skill to be able to have a captivating class online, not just data transmission. So that's really the outcome and my objectives I want. I want to do better. I want to be better. So it's very personal for me.
Thank you. Thank you.
What I want to develop, is leadership and fellowship. As a group work and collaboration in here. And I also want to develop the ideas that applying the theories we have been learned to the practical project. As she mentioned about action learning also one of the interests, and there's a lot of the facilitate methodology and theories that I want to having a chance to applying the theories in our situations and could be learn more about that. And so about that, the learning outcome that I expected is developmental procedure for instructional development procedure for with the developing online courses, and the research gap. I want to see. I want to verify my ideas that what is important, what could be the research gap that we collaborate with each others. My strength is many others are referred to me as a technical things, but more I interested in platform and collaboration facilitate technology. It doesn't necessarily to be only the platform or online website like that. There's many techniques or procedure with the technology. So that could be my strength to come to bring here.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
My target of this project is to be a good supporter to all of yours. That's because I am really not the leader of this project. Maybe this is my another suggestion. Maybe I think that we need to select or elect some leader for this group or the part leader of separate. Maybe we should separate this group in two parts. First is about 572, and another subgroup is about process consultation course. So maybe I can have each part leader their decision making, or I just delivered what is the Dr. Russell's opinion about this. So I can learn about the empowering leadership or other things. Also, I have very little experience about course development. So I am always struggling with how can manage this online course or 572 or the other course. So it seems like very easy, but it's very hard to me. It's very hard to me. So I also learn about the managing skill or some competency about online course through this project. Thank you.
So here's another thing that's kind of exciting. I don't know if you guys have all heard about the ASTD competency. You know that it was a Penn State group that did that, and I always hear about that. And so I'm actually envisioning in the future that people will be talking about the Penn State online OD class, and we could say we developed that, which is kind of exciting to think about. So all right, so we're going to go and move forward now, and here's my request on this. A couple of things. Particularly I want to make sure that we keep in track, because it's really easy to get very task-oriented. It's very easy to say, all right, these are the things I need to do. As doc students, I think it's always really important, and even as future instructors, that we always keep in mind what our own personal learning is, and that we empower each other to move forward with that. So just my request is if you could journal or document some of the things that you have, and then once we get together, we could get back and check in with each other again about how we're doing with that development. And that this is not just about developing a course, it's still developing ourselves. Okay? So now we're going to go into the actual courses themselves and how we want to structure this. So Jungyu, if you want to take the lead on this, but before you do, is everybody familiar with ADDIE? A-D-D-I-E.
Right.
So analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. It's a very, very simple structure for instructional design, and I think we should probably utilize that as a framework as we develop this. So, for example, 572 has gone through 3 iterations. The very first one that Steve, Ipong, and I had started, and we put it together. It was a blended course. We just started putting content together. The second one was the following year, where Jungyu came in and he started supporting us, and the third year is one where the three of us were in it. And so one of the things, part of the ADDIE, is we want to do an assessment of where we're at. But since that's already gone through, we could actually evaluate what has already happened. So we want to, for instance, contact some of the students, even including yourself, what your experience of it, what worked, what didn't work, and that will give us more of some things to work towards, as opposed to just going from a no point. So we want to assess where we're at, and since we already have gone through that part of 572, we want to evaluate and then go back and assess and then go through the ADDIE. So if you don't know ADDIE, please learn a little bit more about that, because now we're going to ask you to even take on a second hat or third hat, maybe the fourth hat, and that is to become instructional designers. We're going to be utilizing our skills, whether we know instructional design or not, but that's basically what we're going to be doing in this course. So Junggi, if you want to give an overview of how we want to look at the 572 and process consultation, process consultation.
Right. Process overview of its contents.
Yeah, and what is the kind of the plan?
I have no plan. I have no specific plan. That's because I believe each part leader will start from their own plan. I will just introduce about.
And as Junggi does this, just so you know, I think it would be beneficial, but it's not a requirement, that if you've taken the course. So it would be challenging to design process consultation if you haven't taken process consultation.
Maybe I don't.
Because PC is a completely different kind of
Yes.
course,
Right.
different from everything else.
But the 572, just so everybody knows, 572 is the foundation. So a lot of content's already developed in that. Process consultation,
Yeah.
you'll be starting from
From
pretty much
zero.
scratch.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that you could use a 572 as kind of a framework, and then adapt it and change. But we have a lot of content already developed in 572.
But Workforce at 572 is developed through this basic format is following the branded format. So it means we have two Russian and weekend in here, and another every topic in each week is just follows in every topic in usual in the online. But maybe we need to develop the 100% online course for this. So target of this 570 is that. And 597 is more complicated. That's because it's only about some offline process consultation course. We already have some supportive course website for 592, 597, but it is just some Dropbox for assignment or some about some peer evaluation for each classmate. So maybe it will be more complicated project about that. But I think we should develop the both of all. That's because this will be a basic course for all for the HRD, OD people, but also the process consultation. Maybe as I know, the process consultation will be opened next year, right? Yes.
Well,
Yes.
what's the latest date that this MPS OD is going to?
Yes.
When is it gonna come online?
2014.
This is
Fall of
2013.
2014. Fall.
It looks like it right now, depends on how the approval
Okay.
is. But they were hoping to get it by the fall of 2013, and then that's not gonna happen.
I know it's spring of
The
14,
syllabus of
but now it's pushed to fall of 14.
I'm sorry?
Syllabus of
Right,
for
yeah.
597.
So if you participate
Syllabus.
in the first one,
Can I get
572,
syllabus?
you
Syllabus?
can maybe
I mean
you
syllabus.
need to
Oh,
focus
syllabus,
on
yes.
And
Yes.
do you have textbook
some
there, right?
platform or
Yes.
some technical
Can I
part.
borrow that?
Yeah.
But if you participate in the process consultation, maybe you need to consider what should be considered through the online process consultation competency, or what is our evaluation strategy for through the online process consultation, something like that. So these two is the little bit different thing. So but
So how many of us have taken, how many people have taken process?
We have,
Okay.
yes, but we have eight individual in this group. But if we divide it, separate the two subgroup for this and that, maybe.
So basically, but what you're
Right.
suggesting is
Mm.
those of us that, I mean, I know Marie's have some OD
Yes.
experience, but Chad, myself, and
Right.
Marie would be on
Right.
with perhaps somebody else, but like, you don't want us on this one because we haven't taken the class.
Yes,
That
right.
makes totally sense.
That's
Thank
fine.
you. Yes, I want to take that. Yes, so if you don't mind, I want to
That's fine.
Sure.
yes, separate the two
Sure,
subgroup
sure,
for
fine.
this.
That's fine.
So
But I wouldn't mind working on both sides.
yes,
Like I've,
perfect.
I've got a lot of experience in 572,
Right.
and I've taken process consultation twice. I've sat in it, so I feel very comfortable on either side of that. And if there's needs someone to help out on 572, I'm happy to be there,
I think
not
that
just in
would be
process
helpful.
consultation.
Yeah.
To
Great,
have a more
great,
senior
thank you.
person.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
So at the first we divide into subgroup for each person. So
Yeah,
Steve will be here and here. Thank you, Steve.
By no means does that mean I'm a leader. It just means I'm on both.
Yes.
My name should not be at
Yeah,
the top.
sure.
I
You
just
know, I'm
want to help
also
out.
interested in the process consultation because video analysis is
Yes,
one
right.
of the interesting.
Chad is
I
already
could help
involved
in that,
yes.
not a content
Yes.
expert.
Yeah, process consultation is going to be hard because that's a very person-to-person process. Doing it online is almost like, I mean, you have to, it's very
Yes,
intimate.
intimate.
Doing that online is very hard, so it's going to be a great success when we do it.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, the chat gave me a lot of advice for the online process consultation. Lynn and I always struggled with the Dr. Russell's request.
Yeah.
How can you convert the process consultation to online course?
Yeah.
So that was my big assignment for us. But I asked the chat about that, some technical problem or technical some program. So maybe he will be better shows out is best in that process consultation converting project. So Ali, what is your choice or process?
Is it,
Yeah.
I don't know about the workload, but it's gonna be hard for me if I participate in the second one too?
How many credits are you taking this semester?
9.
What courses? The
And
two
the-
Rothwell courses?
yeah.
And
The qualitative research with the doctoral.
Yoder?
Good.
You'll be fine.
Here. Also in here.
Ellie wants to be in
Okay.
both.
Thank you.
And one thing to remember too, because you're in 572 or the other one, doesn't mean that you're working in isolation, because we want to share resources
Yeah,
with each
sure.
other. It's just that you'll be responsible specifically for those,
Yeah.
that course is the main thing.
And I'm assuming too, like if I take process consultation in the fall, then I might be able to then,
Yeah.
cause
Right.
is our goal to have it done by the end of the semester? This class, or was it?
No, this is gonna be a 2-semester process. So right
Okay.
now, we're wanting to develop this and create a framework and moving forward with some deliverables that we want to go and have some tasks set up for ourselves with the end in mind that by the end of this year, by the end of 2013, we have a pretty good solid
Got it.
course development. And that doesn't include platform. So platform's completely separate.
And that's process consultation. 572, we should be able to get done this semester, shouldn't we?
Right, so 572 we
Okay.
should be able to, because, and what we'll do is in the fall, we'll do a full launch of 572 for people who are doing strictly online to do a test and see how we can do.
That's great.
Because we have 572 this fall, right?
We do, we'll
So
have
we can-
572, but still, we're operating it from a blended format.
Yeah.
So what we would like to do is try to do it where a group of people who are not having to travel, we'll put them in we'll do a
Fully
pilot
online
test with them where
pilot.
they're strictly online. And we'll develop it that way, because we're doing more blended just to get a mix of everything, but we want to have the full experience of strictly
Right.
an online structure.
And then we can actually do an evaluation of both and see if the students.
Yep.
For your information, maybe each subgroup. I
And
can
that would
call
be a
it
great
each
paper.
subgroup.
Yeah,
each
that would be.
Subgroup is operated by separately, but I want to suggest you, we'll have a regular meeting for our team every 3 weeks or once a month. So maybe we can share each subgroup's activity or some decision making process in their meeting, regular meeting. So, industrial
Process
consultation. Oh.
Is there some website or collaboration platform that we check our
So-
progress?
That is our next question to
Oh,
you.
okay.
Yes.
Well, actually here, because we've been using Angel, and it's easy for everybody to use Angel. What I'm gonna do right now doesn't mean that we're gonna put content stuff in there.
This or this doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
And
So-
then I mean, if you see if you have less people in OD, then I'll move
Yeah.
to OD.
But
I'm
maybe,
going
yes,
to
and
OD,
yes.
or the 572, so yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, thank you. Mari?
Yeah, I'll stay in
Also-
OD, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
572?
Mhm.
Okay.
So, what I'm gonna do is, I need to get your email before you leave. I'll ask you guys to log on. We have on Angel, we have an LPS research team, and under that has subgroups, and in that will be the OD course development. And there's two folders, one for 572, the other one for 597 process consultation. And we'll put in there the syllabus, and whatever things that we've already developed, we'll put it all on there so you have access and resource to it. And then our request is that you put whatever you're working on there, so that it'll be just an easy sharing forum. And then as we move forward, so that way we're not having to develop another platform, we already have that in here.
Yes, Maria and Mac, we have 2 more students in our student project team. So if we wanted to participate in process consultation, it will be okay. You
Okay.
can move
Oh,
them.
okay, so we are allowed.
But
Yes,
those,
you can- you
are
can-
master's students,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, master student,
Okay.
but maybe they can be participating in this project.
Okay,
So
I got you.
if you don't mind, don't mind, please, you can participate in process consultation instead of this one. So just let me know. What is your?
I'm also
I just
the
don't have anything
572.
about process consultation to feel like I would contribute, so.
I have the book,
For
process consultation.
So you
the
wanna-
white one. I mean, I'm flexible.
oh,
If you need me to go over there, I can, no problem.
I follow your choice.
Oy,
Por
oy, oy.
favor.
Well, it seems like the two grad students, they may or may not be as involved, or we don't know, and so if
Like, how
Ally and,
will, yeah.
yeah, if Ally and Steve are kinda also gonna be over here too, I don't,
That kind of leaves you
that
kinda
leaves
by yourself,
sort of me
yeah.
by myself, so I'm fine with that, if that's what you wanna do, I have no problem with that, but, well,
I'll stay.
Okay.
I'll stay.
just wanna make sure we're able to get it all done, I do
That's
work
fine.
full-time.
I'll
and-
stay, Meg. I hear you.
Yeah.
572 is already operational. I mean, it's
Yeah.
now just tweaking.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid. We've been doing it blended for 2 full years.
Sure.
So just the next push. So it's the framework is there and the content is there. It's just now a matter of evolving.
Agreed,
I'm fully committed to 572.
Okay,
We're gonna make sure that evolves.
okay,
okay.
Press consultation is a ground up,
so you need more people over
so
here.
that is gonna be much more
Can you put my name there
figuring
too
out
as
the-
well?
the aspects of process consultation
Right there,
and
right.
how we can transfer a personal relationship and nonverbal communication to an online platform. How can you do nonverbal online?
Oh.
That's
Are you
what,
in sales?
no, that's what process consultation is reading body language. So it's a much more round up,
You write your email.
revolutionary, not
That's the email.
evolutionary change.
I mean, I would love to help on the process consultation, I just was making the assumption that you all wanted, if we hadn't taken the class, that
Right.
perhaps we shouldn't be there, so.
Well, you have to know what process consultation is to do this.
So you'll have to do some front-end work, basically, just to know more about, particularly if you're not familiar with process consultation, you'll just have to do a little bit more front-end work on that.
Yes, if you want to change your subgroup or if you wanted to participate in another project more, just let me know. You can change anytime, anywhere. Yeah. So.
So
this-
just put your
is this
email so I
okay?
could add you. Ali, I think you're already in here, but
Yes.
just put it down anyways.
So.
You have to be like.
Yeah, but just put it down.
Where are
Yeah.
you and Lean going to be?
Maybe we'll separate each other. So, Rin, you're there?
It's fine. We're,
Okay, I'm here.
okay.
Yes, we have 2 subgroups.
Perfect.
So, and next, if you don't mind, I want to assign part leader, subgroups leaders role on each group's one of them. So, who is the volunteer for each subgroup?
I think Jung Yu should be the leader.
No,
Well, why don't
I'm
you,
just a supporter.
Can you just explain what that means so that?
Subgroup leader.
Mhm.
Maybe he or she in charge of the project management role. It is not a specialist, or it is not meaning of the leader has expertise of each topic or the content or the technical part. Maybe I can communicate with each part leader for some delivery of the Dr. Russell's opinion or other things. So if you take that role,
I want
I'll-
to take the 572.
I'll take the lead. Nice. Chad's taking the lead on 572.
some something.
And I'll help Chad with that if he wants.
Okay. And any other for the 597 process consultation?
You wanna take the lead?
No, I would actually request somebody else to take the lead on that.
Last year, honestly, I am very struggling with to managing large process projects. So I learned the lesson. So if we have some sub-group leader or part leader, I'll be managing more easier than the last year. So that is why I asked you take on that role.
If you want me to take the role of process consultation leader, I will, only because I've had the course a couple of times. But I really would like help and support,
I'll help you.
unless you want to be the leader.
No, I'll help you.
I'm sorry.
As long as I get support, yes.
Yes.
Because this is,
You will have support.
good.
You will have me support.
I'll need dates, figs.
That's easy.
I also like a
Steve, you mean
co-chair
the list?
system.
I'm
We
sorry?
have two leaders in there.
Actually,
If
I already
I'll
have
help you.
I'm just gonna add everybody.
But
on.
they didn't want to write my name behind the scene.
I'm gonna be the one with a whip telling you to get it done. Work harder.
That's okay.
Okay.
So Steve, if you're doing that, I'd be happy to sort of be the not a co-lead, but like support Chad, you know,
Over on
Sure,
572.
on 572. So,
Yep.
I mean, I don't need to be the leader, but I will help Chad if
Well,
you
I'll-
want to focus more on leading this.
I'll
I think
support.
doesn't necessary to, the name is, title is a leader or something, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
more
just-
like
yeah.
coordinating.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
Coordinator.
initiate.
I'm the old man here. I've been on the 572 for 3 years and process
Yeah.
consultation for 2,
Mm.
so I can
That's
help.
good. Yes.
But I don't, by no means am I looking to take on any leadership. I just want to be able to say, oh, 2 years ago we did this way and this was good and bad. 3 years ago we did it this way, last year we did it this way,
Yes.
just as an advisor.
I mean, I just personally, perceive as a leader or things as a coordinators
Yeah.
and facilitators. So
Good suggestion,
Good.
right? Yeah. Coordinator.
Yeah.
Or slave.
Thank you, Meg. Okay.
Then
Okay, so,
yeah,
so who's taking the lead on 597?
Chad and Mac.
No, no,
That's
579.
She said 597.
597?
Steve and
Steve and Chad.
no.
Rashid said it'd help and Ali
Yeah.
said they'd help.
Yeah.
So,
It means we don't need a
Steve,
coordinator.
we need, I guess it's better to have a leader in the group, so we vote for,
Yeah, you put
Steve and
Steve,
I
but,
support.
but if he would like something, he could call me or call Rashid,
Okay.
please do this. Okay.
yeah.
So I think we gotta be clear about what that actually looks like. So it doesn't mean that you're doing more work. It doesn't mean that you're in charge of everything. The main thing is that it's a communication forum for Jungyu. Because here's one of the big things, Jungyu is managing several different projects. And so as opposed to trying to manage everybody else and each person, he's gonna contact Steve about 597, how are you in the team, what's going on?
there you go.
And then Steve will just communicate to the rest of the group as to what's going on. That's basically what it is.
But not calling for a meeting or,
I'm sorry?
not calling for a meeting or.
No, that Jungju will do that, and him and I will make sure we manage that. But I think, like I said, the main thing is just to be the main contact of communication.
Mhm.
So I don't want it to be misleading as to what that means, being the lead. So when Jungju wants to learn a little bit more about what's going on with 597, he could just go directly to Steve, and Steve would be able to say, "This is where we're at, and this is what we're doing." And if he can't get a hold of Steve, then he's going to go to Rashid.
the emails that you gave, are those the best emails for you? You check those emails regularly? Okay.
So I'm adding all of you guys onto the Angel group so that you'll, and by this weekend, I'll collect all the information that we've had. Steve, I'll ask that you also input whatever you've created over the past few years in 597, or 572, or either course. And that way you could take a look at it and then kind of go from there. In regards to 572, I think the place for people to start on 572 is do an assessment of what people's experience are, including yourself. Where 597 process consultation should start from is I think we should just take a look at how 572 framed it, create a storyboard, because one thing to remember is that this is over a 14-week period. One of the things that's been a challenge, well, not much of a challenge, but the transition is that we are taking 2 weekend courses and distributing the time over a 14-week period. So that's what he's done for 572. For 597, you want to take all the content that was delivered in those 2 weeks and distribute that over the 14 weeks. And then once you create kind of like the course map, so you want to create a course map for both. For the other one, you might want to take a look at if it needs to change, adjust. If it's too much content, not enough content, we need to move this around here. That's kind of what you're looking at. 597, we just have to create the course map.
No.
Go ahead.
Oh, Marie, I'm sorry. I didn't-
No, fine, go.
Go right ahead.
No, go.
You mentioned 572. All the content is there, so meaning the videos and all that, but what about our assignments and projects and all
Those
of
are
that
things that we're-
already there as well?
Some, and so this is what, that's part of the
Okay.
continuous development is. So if you guys recall, there's a lot of work in 572. And there have been students that actually complained in the past about how much work there is, which is interesting because we actually designed it so it's distributed over a 14-week. We had to do that work in 2 weekends. When we first did it, all the work that you guys was able to submit over that period of time, we submit the same amount of work in 1 weekend. And then take the other half and submit it the following weekend. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do right now with the other course. So even though it is there, you want to look at it and see if it's appropriate. It may work, it may not. And we want to utilize some creativity because we remember that's coming from a face-to-face delivery. It may not be the best way to deliver it. It may be not the best way to assess whether or not they're learning. So those are some of the things that we want to start exploring, and which is great because for all of you that have taken the class, going, boy, that was dumb. Why did they make us do that? Those are some of the things we want to really try to take a look at because we don't want to create busy work for the sake of busy work. That's one of the things I've hated for my online courses in the past is that sometimes they've designed it just for the sake of getting those 40 hours in.
Yeah.
And so critically thinking at all of those is what we want to do. Even the videos itself still needs to be retweaked.
And then like 572, I think you had 3 case studies and 3 vignettes. Are the vignettes better than case studies, or the case studies better than vignettes? Do you want them longer, shorter, different? Evolve. We want the evolution of this to make it more, I get the point through this better than through that. So
My main question for all of this was, what do we want the students to have experientially? What is the outcome that we want for them? Because some online programs are, very text heavy, right? So you do a lot of reading and you do a lot of writing and submission, and it feels like more work than if you were sitting in a classroom.
Right, that's what we don't want to go to.
Having to submit loads and loads. So experientially, when you're talking about more of the face-to-face for the process consultation, is there a mechanism, that Chad or others will design, whereas, you're having the classroom experience but away from each other, where you're able to raise your hand and those kinds of things. I've participated in classes like that. So experientially, that's the main question for me. What do we want the students to feel, to walk out of there having experienced? You know what I mean? Like, do you want them to feel like they're in a classroom, or do you want the sort of outcomes to be the main thing, right?
So
those are the things that are
Do you
mulling
mean
around
how
in my
we,
mind at the moment.
we deliver the
no, I think she's asking in
Your
regards to the
objectives.
student experience. What's the
Yeah.
student experience?
Yeah, and I
Exactly.
think that was actually the next question I was gonna ask, because the university is also gonna ask us, is this a class that just solely runs online, or do we need a scheduled time where there's actually some kind of
synchronous
meeting?
or asynchronous?
So, so to that same point, is it one where there is some face-to-face interaction, or is it just solely all online, where everything, the content is there, and you watch the videos, you do this, and this, and accomplish all the tasks, and
Right.
you never have any kind of meeting.
522 should be able to be asynchronous, but you can have synchronous groups. Or if you're in a group doing a case study, you can meet synchronously. So, but that's gonna be from the syllabus, we can create that. If we decide that 572 has to be synchronous, then that's what we can do. It's gonna be a little harder when you have people around the world taking the course, but, you know,
Right, and that's just.
and I think process consultation might be a little bit more synchronous than 572, but we're gonna, and that's what we're gonna outline. I mean, when we have the syllabus, we create it, say, I think it's gonna be better this way, and we'll try it. And if synchronous doesn't work and it has to be asynchronous or vice versa, though, that's the way it's gonna be.
And I think this is also, you want to look at it from two perspectives. One, as an instructional designer, as you're creating it. But the other piece I think is really important is what would work best for you. If you're going to take the online course, and I get that everybody has a different mode that works best for them, but we want to try to consider all those possible modes. And that's why I think doing the evaluation from the previous course to see what people's experience are, and then from there make the best collected decision that we can.
And I don't know that we're at this phase, but I'm just sort of sharing some things that are in my mind at the moment before they leave. So looking at things like the MOOCs, right? And are there some best practices that we can glean from them? Yeah. So those are the things that I'm thinking about. Like,
I have several comment for the Mars question. I think this is about your question is also about somehow what is our platform for course development. It means maybe Chad has some expertise for that part. If we choose option A platform, it is developed by many text and many videos in there. But if we choose the option B, another platform, maybe that compounds only some very few images on there. This is just for example. But we should follow some old campus rule because this is not make a decision yet. So we are waiting for the Dr. Laswell and Dr. Donayo and another person, involved person, their decision. So maybe we can get some statistics or some decision making from about that. For 1 month later or 2 months later. So this is why we need to focus on its contents, not the delivery style or other things.
I think that's challenging though.
Right.
I mean, if you don't know the manner in which you're going to deliver, it will affect the way what you choose to include and not to include.
Yeah.
So that's challenging for me too.
It's challenging, but I think that we could think about in the perspective of the platform independent.
Okay.
Which means that course itself have some kind of its characteristics and attributes that you have to have goals and objectives and participation like that. So, I mean, we could design the contents first, or design the procedures, and we must implement some rules and principles which ensure this course could be the platform independent.
Okay.
So that is, I think,
So
our
So that's a question. Then another one that I have: are we running this through outreach or World Campus? I mean, or are we running it through the department?
it is not.
That's still what's being up for debate because there's. I mean, I don't know. I know in my college we have a whole tech group and doing the online class that I'm doing, they have the support structure for me to be able to implement that course. Do we have?
Not yet.
We don't have it here.
Not yet. They're still in negotiation right now. One of the main things, as you probably know, is the financial piece.
Exactly.
And that's holding everything up before anyone makes any decision.
Everybody wants the money.
I know, and it's like, really? So right now, that's where they're at to determine how it's going to be
It's funny
distributed.
because I feel like our college just says we're just doing this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because
Well, that's kind of what we're doing. I mean, for us, that's what we're kind of doing right now. Instead of waiting for them to make that decision, so that way when it does and we get that support from World Campus, then we can say, all right, here's what this is all you need to do is put it here. Because I think one of the main things, and I don't know if some of you have taken the needs assessment class last semester, it was not a very good product.
Oh, right, I heard that. The online was bad.
Right.
mind-numbing.
And that's
Anyway,
gonna.
So I agree with the Mary's idea. That's that's because the content is important, but content is surely influenced by what is the platform. So I think it is not decided yet. We should check what is the World Campus platform at the first. So our another key man is the EPAM. He has already worked with the World Campus for supporting the Dr. Donayu.
Okay.
So he is not in here because his baby is born today or
Woohoo!
tomorrow. So
Is he at the hospital?
I don't know. Yes, but
Anytime.
he told me he be participating. He has no appointment, but he's not here in minutes. Yeah.
Good.
Side note, we are collecting $5 to send a gift to Ipong and Nathan.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's right.
we're going
Tonight,
to,
right.
so we're gonna collect the money
So-
tonight, and whatever we collect, we're gonna send a package.
I'll invite the EPAM next time our regular meeting, so we can check what is the platform World Campus and what is some decision making. What is we are where we in the what is the decision making point. So
Okay.
yeah,
And, sorry, did you have?
No, I just agree we
Yeah.
can move forward.
right.
So the other thing that came to mind for me was duration,
Mhm.
and whether or not this is in fact going to be a full semester,
Mhm.
or have some flexibility to be, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter,
Mm.
depending on how we design this.
Right.
And when I say a little bit shorter, I'm thinking more like some of the classes in the business school are a little bit
Mm.
shorter. They run in these mods,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm thinking. So just throwing it out there, just as things to consider.
Mhm.
You look concerned, Steve.
I just think there are certain guidelines we have to meet. We have to have a number of hours.
Yeah.
Okay,
Whether it
so
happens
good to know.
over, whether it happens over
Yes.
15 weeks or 14 weeks or 12 weeks,
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
there's a minimum number of hours we have to
Right.
have.
Okay.
Do you know that number, Lean?
40 hours? I
40
wanna
hours.
say it's 40
Okay.
hours a week of content delivery.
All right.
Actually,
And
the
that
type-
doesn't
yeah.
include, does not include
Outside
assignments. But there should be actually hard,
40 hours of some sort of content delivery or interaction.
Okay, that's good to
What
know.
If
is
it
it
happens
on?
in 3 weeks or it happens in 15 weeks, it's still the same thing.
Got it, okay. thank
40
you.
hour for one semester, right?
For one course, 3 credits, 40 hours of class time,
Right.
whatever they call class time.
Anyway, actually, this is just the initial meeting for some group forming of
Mhm.
this project team. So we already know we have 100 decision making points should be solved. So we can solve it the step by step, one by one from now. So maybe
What he's saying is, let's stay on the surface, let's not get too deep.
right.
That's the translation. We're
Yeah.
just overviewing
Thank you.
today.
Uh,
Thank you, Jong Yu.
Do we have
Thank you, Steve.
do we have a project plan?
That's what we're going to be working on.
Right.
That's each group will break out and
Yeah.
we'll figure all that out.
yeah, so I think the request for the next meeting, I think we should have another meeting as a group, but each subgroup should probably meet anyways,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and just create a project plan that works for you,
Mhm.
and what you think is attainable by the end of this semester. So we're gonna do this semester by semester.
Okay.
So between now and the end of the semester, which I think leaves 10 weeks,
Yeah, 10 minutes.
what can be done that you guys agree to, and we're gonna create that kind of working contract. We'll send it to Dr. Rothwell and we'll let him know what it is. And again, if you guys, and part of that too, keep it for your records, if you want to use this, as Jungji was saying, as an independent study in the future, you can do that even though you're doing the work now.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's something to
great.
consider.
Yeah.
Now, spring break is coming up in a month. Is there anyone that's staying here for spring break and could commit some dedicated time to this over that week? I'm not saying spend the week, but if we spent 4 or 5 hours one afternoon and say, let's really dig into this.
Yeah.
But if you're gone, you're gone. I mean,
I'm here the last, I have to work over spring break. I'm here the last couple of days though, so I might be able to.
okay. It was just an idea that I know we have that potential.
I'll get back to you. I have to talk to my husband.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So before we go, do we want to schedule, since we're all here, having another meeting, just to get us launched so that we're actually moving forward? So we just did an intro now. We got ourselves kind of set in our groups so we know what groups are. Does this time work for everybody? Is there another time that works better? Can we just do this again next week?
Next
Wednesday the 13th at 10:30 in this room works for me.
Next week.
Yep.
Next
1 week to have this whole group. Are you expecting us to have breakout sessions before then?
Yeah, so you guys have some sort of conversation of just so that we can come in, whether you want to do it here, but create, by the end of the next session is to have an actual project plan, so that we're not, floundering for the next 3 weeks and all of a sudden it's spring break and then the semester's over and nothing's done. So I think it's really important that we have that established some sort of framework for each group. Whatever that looks like, it doesn't have to look the same, it's really up to you guys.
Just a rough project plan.
Right.
Not looking for
So what is it?
actual
Yeah.
So basically,
hard material and hard
Yeah.
dates.
And you, before, so that we can do that, you're giving us access to Angel,
Yep.
that we can see the content for
Yes.
572.
Yes.
Yes,
So that we can.
maybe I will give you some authority to access the 572 and 597 course through the lastlearningcenter.com.
I'll create the link on there
Yes,
too.
I announce how can you access that with a management account, because you already registered in that course, but maybe your authority, maybe you have only authority as a student. It means you could not check all of the stuff in there. So I'll give you some other
Administrative
roles,
type
yes,
role.
administrative role as.
But if you
to
go in and look,
this
don't be,
website.
looking at grades and people's
Yeah.
things. I mean, that's kind of
Oh.
private
Yeah,
stuff.
right, yeah.
For how long?
No, go ahead, please.
For how long our meeting will gonna be? From 10:30 to
11:30.
To-
Sorry, hold-
An hour and a half. I think today is till
I'm
noon.
meeting with Dr. Rothwell at 10:30 next Wednesday, is that what you said? So I'm not available at 10:30 next Wednesday.
Yes, right. Not next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
How long is your meeting with Rothwell?
Well,
1 hour.
probably, yeah.
Do you have time before or after?
I don't actually, but
Okay.
after I can, after, I do have,
Because I mean, I can open up my schedule. Ali, what is
Are
your schedule like
Fridays
next?
an
Yeah,
option
it's
at all?
okay.
You want to meet earlier?
Are Fridays an option?
For our group, we can certainly.
Next week we're going to a conference. Are you going to AHRD?
Right, next
You are?
Wednesday.
So
You're going to help present?
So are you
I
okay?
didn't get an email from.
It's next Friday.
Do you wanna
Maybe
resend?
I
Saturday,
can
you mean.
It's
A Saturday,
okay.
yes.
You just resend
You're going.
this invitation
Are you going?
for me?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Yes?
Maybe I'm not.
Okay, good. We need to talk because we need to get the presentation together.
10:32.
So,
Can we meet earlier? Does 10 o'clock work? 9 o'clock? 7 a.m.?
No.
No, no.
6:45? You guys tell me.
You would like
Okay,
start noon?
I have additional
Ali,
question.
can you meet
Okay.
later on Wednesday?
Is there some?
I can meet later on Wednesday, yeah? Mhm.
So that, we're talking about the whole group still, getting together.
We
as a
might
whole-
meet.
Maybe,
at
maybe not.
10:30
You guys
at
tell me.
10:30 as a group, and then when you're done at 11:30, we can come in and have our process consultation.
I'm not on process consultation.
Oh, you're right.
So maybe the subgroups just meet. It's, like I said, it's really up to you guys. My request is that by end of next week, we have a project plan for both.
Then
So
why don't
whatever
we
that
plan on
looks like.
next week, we meet as our subgroups.
Okay.
And we work out a project plan as our
Yeah.
subgroups.
Yeah, can we not start the bigger group?
Yep.
The
At
whole group at
11:30?
11:30 on Wednesday? Does that work for everybody since
Well,
I haven't, or
Mm.
no? I'm
Your,
not with
for your
Dr.
subgroup, it's gonna be 572 for you.
You guys just have one
Let
group.
me ask this.
I-
We could
Me too.
meet as a subgroup like 10:30 up to 11:30. So
And then at 11:30 we could
two
meet.
groups.
Oh,
Then
we're trying to
11:30
schedule
we
both
combine,
conversations.
share ideas up to noon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can the big group coming together meet at 11:30 and then our subgroup
Before.
Prior,
Well, I
however you
would-
work out.
No,
Yeah.
she's saying try to meet like another day for the subgroup.
for 572
For you,
sub
for
For the
572.
572, right.
Yeah, for 572 subgroup,
Yeah.
meet a different day, but come together as a big group at 11:30 on Wednesday.
That works for me.
That's fine with me.
So 11:30
We
on
just need
Wednesday.
to, Chad, Rashid, Ali, we need to figure out when we can meet
Yeah.
as a group.
I have a commitment on Wednesday, so I should leave before 11:30.
Okay, so you need to be done by 11:30.
So I could meet here at 10 or 10:30.
Okay.
So you can't
Yes.
do 11:30 as
Well-
a big group next week.
But the big group is just gonna be to report
Yeah.
what our framework is.
Yeah.
Kind of
Summary.
share, so
Summary.
we don't necessarily need every member of the group to be at that 11:30 group, we just need a couple of the leaders to say,
Yeah.
this is what our group is outlined. So they look at it and say, okay, now we're gonna hold you to it, we know you have an outline, now do it. So it's more of an information, the 11:30 will be more of a information sharing. So maybe everyone doesn't need to be there, but we need to try to be in our individual group meetings.
So my question is, do we have some kind of the website that we can share the ideas and
Yes,
the
Lynn already have an Angel account
On
for
Angel.
this group, but If you have another good idea for this for this group, please share your idea.
Okay,
That's because Angel is not working sometimes.
If you want to do a Google Hangout or you want to have some sort of a,
Yes,
I mean, you can
some
set
sort
that
of-
up.
Yeah.
But on Angel, it's called OD Course Development from a subgroup of
LPS.
LPS leadership, I think.
Yeah, so I have to actually invite you, so I have your emails. But I'm sorry I have to run because I have to go to work.
I mean,
I'm
my
like 2 hours late for
initial
work.
thought is, you know, we can have a one website for the collaborations, and we can use the multiple, you know, technology, for example, Yammers, or casual communication for the group work, and then we could share our a calendar by Google.
Or Jungkyu, do you want to just do it on Rothwell Learning Center? We have all the stuff on there. We could just invite them. Is that easier?
Yes,
What
I
do you
think
think,
so.
Chad?
But what is Chad? What is your idea?
Okay, then my idea is putting one website that put on all the decision and procedure on the website, and then communication as a communication channel. We could have the Yammers and emails, and then we can share some kind of calendar for the team calendars. I can make a link.
Right, if we're gonna do Google Calendar, I prefer, like,
Yes.
can we do Google Groups then
Yes.
too, or something like that?
Yes, it
Instead of
is.
having Yammer and, I mean, I like Yammer, but that'd be my.
So what is the purpose of the?
Yammer?
No, what is purpose of our website? It's
The
a communication or is share the
Both.
progress of
Both.
each course development.
I mean,
Both. So my
Sorry, but I have to
opinion
run.
is if
Bye-bye.
you-
So let me know what you guys, if you guys need anything from me. Once you let me know the content, we'll upload all the stuff.
So my opinion is if you use the Moodle site means the
Thank you.
rasterlearningcenter.com.
Bye-bye.
They have already a 572 of the last semester and 597 of the last semester. So if I add one more category for this group, maybe you can check that each course contents, and at the same time you can communicate each other through that Moodle website. I agree.
Does that work for
So
you?
it is also
Yeah, but my idea is more like, for example, today's meetings, I lost the track where, I know that we have meeting today, but where we have meetings, actually, I have several, email from Jungyu and Lin, but, so like if we have some kind of website that, project website that we can visit and check our progresses and
Know where the meeting is.
yes, something like that. I mean, we can use the Moodle, but it's the same time, so we cooperate in one pages and check that all the information and progresses.
What about Yammer? If we have a private group within Yammer, that's like reviewed and
I mean, for the Yammer has a great strength to, notification and communication.
problem is Steve and Lin is not familiar with Yammer, right?
I'm on Yammer. I'm not real familiar, but I'm on it every day.
No,
But that is my
it is
problem,
like
yes.
Facebook.
It's like
No, no, no.
Facebook.
Okay,
But
we got it.
Yammer is
Yes.
the reason that I think about Yammer is everybody have laptops and smartphone.
Okay.
You can download this application. It's more like
Okay, please
the-
teach me.
It's
Yeah,
like Facebook.
Okay, good.
yeah.
Okay.
Facebook for intellectuals.
Yeah,
I'm not a
academia,
social
academia.
person, so I'm not familiar with Facebook and other social networks.
No, it is very easy.
Just okay.
So Chad, why don't you just start
yes.
sign us all up for the.
Set it up
Yammer.
and
Okay,
Yeah.
set it
invite
up and
us.
we
Yeah.
And
do
can
it.
we,
Yeah.
those of us that are in 572, can we just communicate via Yammer for a meeting time?
Mhm.
Or do we, or
Yeah.
instead of,
How did
I
you
mean,
know?
Yammer,
We
we
can
can,
do it now,
we can
that's
use
fine
the
too,
Yammer as for the
Just do it.
casual communications. Actually, some of them use the Yammer, but the main problem with the Yammer is easy to lost what is your progress.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is the one reason that I want to see our project progress in our web page. So we can bookmark the web page, and every time we go
Yes,
there.
I got this idea.
Mm.
In the Facebook, for example, you could create a
Yeah.
page for the Audi online
Yes.
and invite us,
and I said.
and
I
it's
said yes.
private for us. Nobody outside could see it. Everything is there.
That is
It
one
is,
idea.
it is different than usually communication. It is page.
I'm sure it's hard to
It's-
remember.
I have seen many of these.
Yeah.
And there are fixed information. If you would like
Okay.
meeting, you press meeting. If you would like,
Okay, I think we're getting caught up in the how to
yes.
meet. We need to actually
Yeah.
figure out the content.
For the next week meeting, let's see through Doodle.
Well,
Okay, I
it's
can't
the
see
four
it.
of us. Chad is in both, Lean is in both, so it's really the four of us that are gonna be doing this.
Okay.
So we need to try and figure out a time that we can meet next week.
Which
You
day?
said you have to be done by 11:30 on
Right.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Can everyone meet at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, or 9:30?
No.
9:30 is fine with me.
9:30.
It's my day.
And we're
Right.
talking about process consultation.
We're talking about process
Talking about
consultation.
process, yeah.
So that we can actually figure out
All right.
a bare bones skeleton of how we're gonna do this.
Okay,
Mhm.
9:30,
9:30.
fine,
9:30, right in this room.
13.
Can you try to get us this room for 9:30 next
Yes,
Wednesday?
Okay.
9:30
I
when?
looked at this one.
Next Wednesday.
Next to,
If you want to
Wednesday.
set some venue for
A week
you
from
have
today.
meeting,
Then-
let me know.
Okay,
I booked the room.
Today Wednesday.
Next week.
yeah, yeah.
Next
Wednesday.
Wednesday, 9:30 till 11:30, right
Okay.
here.
Our project meeting is 10:30, and then subgroup meeting is 9:30, right?
The regular.
We're gonna meet at 9:30 here for our subgroup.
Okay.
And that's for
Subgroup meeting.
597, Chad.
It's for process consultation. You don't necessarily have to be here for that,
Uh-huh.
because you're kind of the technical side. If you can be, great,
Yeah. I'm trying to.
good.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about process consultation and how we can actually work it out, get some sort of a
Who
framework.
wants to be at the 572 meeting
Right, so.
next week?
So it's gonna be
what day-
February
what day
13th.
works for you?
Yes.
This Friday, I have
Can you
time in
send
the
out an
morning.
invitation, a Google
Friday's really
schedule,
busy for me.
Just
Google
kidding.
Calendar? Ali,
I looked at the wrong date.
Okay.
Sorry.
can you send out a Google Calendar request to us for a meeting?
Okay. Later today.
Yes. Just invite all of us to
For 304, right?
304, 9:30 in the morning.
Monday, the 11th, I've got until about 2:30.
When is the regular meeting for
Are you available?
At noon?
I
For what?
missed,
So I've got
I missed
until
the
about
whole.
noon available.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't
Okay,
know. Not
so
yet.
what do you want,
Okay.
10?
I'll send it.
The
to
11th?
Maybe
Yeah.
11:30.
You might wanna do a breakfast meeting?
Monday.
Meg can be here at 11:30, but Rashid can't next week, so we don't, I think we need to do a whole nother,
I'll send all
Okay,
other
so what
to the
days
board.
work for you?
Okay, this is
That
only
week,
for the subgroup
Thursday.
meeting,
for
right?
just the subgroup.
So that'll be.
Thursday.
I
that'll
make
be
a reservation
after our
for
meeting.
Connie now.
Yeah, we gotta meet
We have
before-
to meet before the 13th though.
Julian, you
So
can
Monday,
email us
Wednesday.
later, no problem. You
I
could
think-
email
So I
us.
see you Wednesday.
Okay.
Why don't we
Okay.
So at
start
least,
with the,
do
other
we need
comment?
to come up with
For me.
the outline?
Just
and,
refresh
Wednesday.
on process consultation
Uh-huh.
and think about how we can read each other.
Uh-huh.
What about this weekend?
Separately.
What about
This book
Sunday?
is already booked.
Yeah.
Give us a room, any room.
Every,
Did you,
how, okay,
you
I
meet
see.
on Sunday?
Any room, 409,
Yeah, 9:30.
313,
313.
any room.
Okay.
And
313.
even if we couldn't get a room, maybe we can
Hold on,
Go to,
I'm not, wait,
Oros.
Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, the
Okay.
10th.
We'll
I'm
get a
good.
room.
in case
Good
we
on the
run.
10th.
Uh,
Yeah, actually
but
But we're
Sunday
just gonna need
at-
to figure out
I
how,
mean,
refresh that course, we'll have the
Steve.
website up,
2 o'clock.
and how we can
There is
stretch it
free-
out to 15.
Free iPad.
Yeah.
What?
Free
That's fine.
iPad.
Excellent. Who's
No.
using it?
For you,
Be
Chad?
very
Hundreds.
realistic. If you
And
have
there is
something,
iPhone.
you have somewhere to
Another
go.
I
iPhone.
mean, Sunday at 10 I had to go to Reyes for the
Yeah, so let's go
Okay.
over the outline, the contents.
You like bring in our syllabus
I cannot do
Yeah.
Saturday.
and kind of just think about how we can stretch it out to
I
15
can do
weeks and
Saturday evening.
how we can,
Saturday evening.
like, we
But-
recorded some of those sessions.
Can you
And
do
if we record one of those
Um,
sessions
so
can we watch
Saturday
it?
the 9th,
and be the
I
process
need to
consultation
talk to
while
my
they're
husband,
arguing.
Just to make sure
While
we
you
don't
can-
have anything planned, I don't.
So I mean
Okay.
after
You know,
sunset.
do that.
So that means like
Is that as effective, and how can we do
after
that?
6 o'clock.
Okay, how about this?
Why don't we
Maybe-
can we do it at 8 o'clock?
We just need to
on Saturday, or
talk
next
about
week?
it.
Yeah.
Steve, last semester I took project
Is that okay?
management with
Yeah,
Dr.
okay.
Ross
Okay.
Baker.
And where
If
do
you
we
would
wanna-
like these principles of the project
Do we
management,
wanna,
we could-
do we
Perfect.
wanna meet on
Nice.
Adobe
Yeah.
Connect, or do we
Good.
wanna
yeah,
meet
let
till
me
last
look.
week?
Yeah, let me look to my staff.
Refresh and see how you can
Yeah,
use
and
it.
see what is.
But
How
that's
we
fine.
can
That's
work
okay.
Yeah,
project.
yeah. How can we do a project
If we
within
can
one
get this,
semester?
can we get this?
Perfect.
You
Or
you
I
got
can-
that?
But this process consultation is gonna be 2 semesters. We don't have to have it finished until December.
Yeah, but
But we wanna try and,
Yeah, if we are developing a project that we need
yes,
and how we do it
Invite
like
out.
that.
Okay,
Excellent.
great.
Okay.
thank you guys.
Thank
you.
Take care.
Say-
Have a
say-
good day, guys. Bye-bye.
What's your email?
What level of understanding do you have of process consultation?
So I have the Gosh, I'm seeing the book in my head with the two chairs.
Yep.
I do have the book at
176?
home, from a previous OD class I took in another graduate
Okay.
program.
I'm sorry.
But I can refresh.
You understand, it's how to make your team work better.
Sure.
You have a dysfunctional team.
Mhm.
People meet and one of them might be too loud and one might be too quiet and one might be, just distracted.
Mhm.
And you come in and you watch this group and you pose questions like a psychologist.
Mhm.
How does it make you feel when Marie doesn't do this,
Mhm.
or when Meg doesn't do that,
Right.
or when Marie slaps her hand on the table? How does that make you feel?
Mhm.
And you get to kind of, do you value her opinion? Yes. Then why don't you let her speak? So you try to get these people to open up, to
Sure.
understand
Mhm.
how to work better. And you say, okay, for next meeting, let's try to do these things. Have a rule book, some ground rules. We don't interrupt, we don't shout, we don't bang our hands, whatever it might be. And you go through and you evolve over a number of meetings, and you get this team to appreciate each other and work better for the goal.
Okay,
So-
awesome summary.
So what that is,
Yeah.
it's, as a process consultation, a consultant, you're reading their body language. How many times they speak loud, how many times they talk. In a meeting of 4 people for 1 hour, you speak 14 times, 2 times, 4 times, and 15 times. Okay, 14 and 15, you two are dominating the meeting, you two aren't. You now need to get them to understand why that's not right. And do you value this person? This person's from HR, they need to be in this meeting, but they're not contributing. How can we